Hello again. I've just come back with a different topic. Enterprise resource planning. We want to define what enterprise resource planning is and what does it involve. What is enterprise resource planning? Some of you are using SAP. That's a typical example of enterprise resource planning. That's a typical example of integrated system. Now, what is it? Enterprise involves a complete business consisting of functions, divisions, and other components used to accomplish specific objectives of the organization. Enterprise, just a group of people with specific goals. It has certain resources. And what are the resources? That are assigned to activities used to process and so that come out with some products and services. So that's the enterprise. Okay, diagrammatically, that's what we're talking about. People and their objectives, goals and objectives, but they must use resources as listed in the diagram. All right. So that's ERP. So how do you define that? I'll keep on bombarding you with the definitions. It's an integrated system, right? Look at the divisions which are integrated. Manufacturing, distribution, finance, human resources, marketing, and everything. Combination of business information systems. In other words, it has got a number of modules in it, which we can use. But these are integrated because there is a combination. Sharing of resources. We have looked at database development. I mean, it's developing a new system. So we might be using a common database. Why? Because they're integrated. Okay. And ERP includes, as we've already said, I've given some of the departments, and these are the additional departments which you can include. But what is more interesting that it also covers customers and suppliers. Integrated, organized, formalized, common sense system. You can define it like that. All right. What does it mean? I've already given you the meaning. We don't have to repeat this one. Involving several functions, involving several departments, including the customers and suppliers. So it extends outside the organization. There you go. What does it mean? Cross-functional functions. And how does that, or that combination or integration help you? But it said automated integration. All right. How does it all help the organization? It does, because it promotes efficiency, agility, responsiveness. Because they've got common information, common database. So the response is not a big problem. And very useful for the dynamic business environment. Very useful. Right? What are its objectives? Just write them down. I have some of them down there and compare with what I have. Okay, provide support for all variations of business processes. Empower the customer. Empower them to modify and implement business processes. Implementation process. Different activity towards the enhancement of productivity, towards the enhancement of profits. So that's interesting. These are the objectives. Right. These are maybe, just as I said, I'll just bombard you. This is yet another explanation. But this explanation is quite interesting in the sense that now you've got the suppliers and customers go outside the organization. but they are a necessary part of the system. They're essential. Don't throw them away, right? Or you can have such a diagram. Just look at that. And all these are integrated to form one system, an integrated system. Or you can think of this, right? So now look at the connection between to and fro customer, to and fro supplier. Okay. So that's an ERP, enterprise system. Such a system, for example, would enable a salesperson or a marketing person or any other employee to do his or her business anywhere in the world. Why? Because they can always access the system and then use it. For example, a salesman will be able to determine the feasible delivery date. Why? Because the system can always tell him or her. Feel confident of information. Why? Because maybe the system was developed with his input. He or she feels that they are part of the system. Proud of their system, operating anywhere in the world. Go on holiday and they are still in business. Why should such a system grow? One would wonder, why should such a system grow in this dynamic world? Why should it grow? Tell me. I'll be interested to know the answer. I've got also some answers here. Why? Because it's multilingual. Many languages involved. There are bankers from Japan that you can always communicate. Multi-currents. I don't have to explain this one. You've gone through it. Multi-mode. What does that mean when you say multi-mode? Multi-facility. What does that mean? Let's look at each and see what happens. What is happening? Multilingual. Software solution offered by the company should be flexible enough to have customer service representatives in any country. The beauty of it, using their native language and all at the same time on a single platform, computer platform. How do you like that? It's beautiful. Orders must be printed or returned to the customer in their native languages. In our case, we are using English as our native language. In English, communicating with the Japanese bankers. How do you get the communication in English? If they don't know English in Japan, then you communicate in their own language. That's a system. All right. Because the system can always enable them to do that. Multi-currency. Very interesting. Receiving invoices in Indian, your payment in German marks, billing in French francs, receiving cash finally in US dollar, US pounds, general ledger worked out in Japanese yen, in the same system, enterprise resource system, in the same system. It's multi-currency. That's why it grows. That's the reason why. It doesn't have any boundaries, right? Multi-mode. What mode of operation do you want? Neck to stock. Products finished before receipt of customer order. Neck to stock. Assemble to order. You have got an order, and then that order is also completed according to what your requirements, customer requirements. Design to order. Give us what you want. We'll design it for you, and you will be satisfied. That's why ERP is growing. All right. Okay, multi-facility. Because we've got divisions in the company. Having divisions, the company was saying they are integrated. So it's a multi-facility. Production, planning, assembly lines, and so on, and other departments. They are integrated. So it's a multi-facility thing. Although they might have their own individual accounts departments, but it's a multi-facility. It caters for different facilities, different functions. So those are the 4 reasons why it grows. But it's being criticized. It's being criticized. Why? There are reasons. It's expensive. So it's for large organizations. Do we have the money? Says support, as they say, it's not up to standard. That's the argument. Read more and find out. Systems do not provide true benefits. Is that so? Yes, it could be. You are using SAP, are you using all the modules? Why? Why not? Why are you not using them? So you're not getting the full benefits. All right. There you go. Acceptance and limitations. What are the limitations? So they argue it's not due to cost availability services. It's due to non-pervasive of IT culture. You don't have that culture. You don't have the awareness of the importance of this. So that limits you. Again, that looks like a challenge. Large initial costs, we've already looked at that and said it's expensive and it's only for the big companies. The small companies, SMEs, will not afford. It will be difficult. All right? Inflexibility. Software is quite complex. Costs are quite high, difficult to master. If you are using a SAP, are you in a position to run it without any problems? Are you not relying on outsiders to assist you? At times you might find it quite necessary to change the whole thing and drop it. Why? Because it's not flexible. That would be very unfortunate. Failure to achieve the strategic benefits, again, is related to all those modules which are not using. And you are not getting the benefit out of it. Then it's a failure. Some argue my organization implementing a different system and we are getting rid of this. Why? Because there are problems. Right? Counting implementation, yes, it's a long process. Organization-wide definitions of the database. We have looked at these as problems. Transforming and loading, transforming the database in something which the definitions which are understood by the entire organization. That's not easy. Retrain number of workers. How many workers know the system? If they know the system, at times they are marketable. They move away. Redesigning business processes. That's not easy. And it also requires people who have got the knowledge to do it. So that becomes a challenge. All right. First by the vendors, ERP vendors. We have touched part of it. ERP vendors, looking at the internet, they have a challenge. Why? Because if they have an ERP, then they have a problem. To address global access issues, they must remain on the internet. Can they afford develop information systems that will cater for both inside and outside? So that we call it an ERP. Inside the company, outside the company. For customers and suppliers, that's a challenge. Develop complete best business processes, adaptable business systems for easy installation and post-implementation maintenance. Adaptable. We have looked at the system development. So this is what we're talking about here. Right. Besides that, what are the benefits? The benefits, you can always go back to the system, why the system grows, and turn those into benefits. You can turn those into benefits. Those system, the 4 reasons which we gave. But besides that, there are so many. You can also write your own and compare with what I have here. Benefits, firm structure and organization. Company use ERP to support their structures. Probably most of them were not there. So they've created new ones. That's growth. Create a more disciplined organization culture. Automates many internal business transactions. I can't ever emphasize on that. Improve management decision making. Why? Because the information is readily available. Information can, so the decision making is made easy. Supply management with better data amount about about business processes. Why? Because they've got a database or a data warehouse. They can easily get the information they require at the press of a button. That's interesting. System promised to create a single integrated repository that gathers data of all key business processes. So then that is ERP. It provides firms with a single unified and all-encompassing information. Can't re-emphasize that. Data have common standardized definitions and formats. I have already explained that in the systems development. Right? Business capabilities. It can easily respond to customer requests, can forecast new products, can build and deliver them as demand requires. What a system. That's a big benefit. That promotes your business. Okay, these are some of the benefits which you can read about. Direct and indirect benefits. What are the direct benefits? What are indirect benefits? Very interesting. Direct improved efficiency within the organization. Integration with so much emphasis, better decision making. Response time faster to customer queries. Indirect, better corporate image. Your brand grows. Improved customer satisfaction and goodwill. Then you are in business. These are the benefits. Okay? I've also repeated some of these benefits. Reduction of what? Time, quality costs, improvement of what? Supply performance, customer satisfaction, which is just a repetition, utilization of resources, information accuracy and decision making, increased flexibility, on-time shipment, on-time delivery, and so on. Right? Now, these are some of them, but it's more of a repetition of what we have already said. But in this case, we are just saying there are intangible benefits and tangible benefits. Right. So you can distinguish what we have already done into tangible and intangible benefits. Okay? Lead time reduction, we've already mentioned up there. Why? Because of automation. The tasks are simplified. Inventory management will be highly efficient and very effective. Why? Because it's computerized. Right? On-time shipment, just an explanation of some of those terms. On-time shipment. They have to deliver the products at the correct line to the customers at the time required. Lovely. Minimize the errors and the production efficiency. the products come out at the right time and delivered at the right time. Information always available. Why? Because it's in the database. Okay? Reduction of cycle time. Reduce the cycle time. The ERP have save time by integrated information. Other technologies are also incorporated just in time. Computer integrated manufacturing, and so on. It's a good system. Improved resource utilization. Now it's not wasteful. Proper planning is done. Capability. Planning capacity is just then improved. ERPs help the organization by improving the capacity and the resource utilization, resource allocation, resource utilization. Everything being computerized. All right. Better customer satisfaction. What more do you want? They are satisfied because they get whatever they want at the right time. Okay? Improved supply performance. Why? Because of some subsystem in vendor management and the procurement tools are now in. It also searches for best supply contract. Automatically assigns to it and the corresponding purchase order and the requisition. E-payment is also part of it. So it's a very interesting system and it has got all these benefits. Increased flexibility, manufacturing operations, organization as a whole will improve. Reduction of quality cost. This you can read and understand. Documenting specification. Enabling an organization to standardize their operations. Sample types and rules and testing levels are used to define. Because everything is computerized. Then you've got the detailed sampling instructions. Testing and procedures are performed online, not out of line, providing tools of implementing the programs. So this is a very useful system. Improved information accuracy and decision making. It's more of just re-emphasizing what we have already mentioned. Now, to summarize, let's look at this diagram. Right? We are saying there are benefits and we are saying there are challenges. It's more of a summary of what we have already covered. Right? I hope you have taken note of those benefits and those challenges. And it's up to you to make a decision whether this is a very useful system for your organization. And I will thank you very much.